And
Yeah.
it looks like we just went live right now. Let me do the quick intro. Frantic
Live.
Romantic presents Hanging with the Friends, episode number 22 with Nina Diaz.
We are live.
Live.
Hello, Nina Diaz. How are you?
I'm so happy to be number 22. That's one of my favorite numbers.
That's my favorite number. I was born on the 22nd. That's awesome.
Ah.
Aww.
Now, do you like the repetition of it?
Well, the duality of it, what it represents.
Yeah.
Of the dark and light. I sound really smart, right? It's the duality of the number 22 that intrigues me the most.
And I'm all down with that. It's cool, you know?
Yeah,
It is smart. It is smart.
It is very smart. It is.
You know, my favorite number is 27, and I have no reason. So, you know,
Not the 27
there you
club?
go.
Not Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin or Kurt Cobain.
Well,
or
yeah, 27
Amy
is a
Winehouse.
big number. It's a beginning of a return to Saturn, you know, like it's definitely a pinnacle point in your life at 27. What happened to me at 27? I don't even remember.
Oh,
I
man.
don't remember.
I think I moved to LA when I was 27.
Yeah?
Wow.
Moved from
I gave
the
myself
Bay
a mortgage.
to LA.
See,
Gave myself
big
a mortgage
things.
at 27.
Those are big things. Those are really big things. What did I do at 27? I don't even, wait, did I get married? I think I got married. I think that's what it was.
That's a big thing, too.
It
That's a
was.
big thing.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
that? I was getting close. So I just started my solo career around that time, really
Nice.
really diving into the solo world. So yeah. And I was surprised
Wow,
to make
good
it after 27, especially since I was like using drugs for a long time, and I'm 7 years sober now.
Oh,
So I didn't even
Congratulations.
finish
Awesome.
27.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I just earned my 3-year chip, so 7 years, man. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to hitting that. Yeah.
Congratulations. Those are the hardest years. Like the first year, that's the kicker. I had to
Right,
go back
right.
and then try, you know, you have your relapses. It's part of it.
But that's part of it. That's part of the
Yeah,
experience.
you have
right.
to get that
Totally.
those first 3 relapses out of the way, and then
Yeah.
it sticks, you know, if you don't
Right.
die. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I still dream, like in every single dream, the moment I go into dreaming, there's like somebody waiting with a drink for me. And I'm like, hey, you know, and I walk in and start
Oh, yeah.
talking, you know, it's so random. Almost every night that happens.
That's like
Yeah.
The Shining, right?
Totally like the freaking Shining, dude. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's
Needed-
there. It's still in the back of your mind. It's this repetition we got used to. And that's totally a part of it. I would have dreams where I drank and I wake up feeling like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? You know, that feeling.
Right. I do that now. Sometimes. I'll wake up thinking, did I just fuck up? Like, did I? Oh,
Yeah.
No, I didn't. You know, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes
Smoking
you.
too. I kicked smoking 12 years ago, and I smoke in
Nice.
every single dream. Every single dream.
Nice.
Not cool.
I just quit smoking like for real this time because I moved to LA. I moved to LA last year. I was living there.
I saw that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
You just moved back to Texas, right?
I just moved back right when the world decided to go through all its changes.
It's a good time to move out of LA. Is
LA,
right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
The
kind of.
epicenter.
I do feel like it was a perfect timing because no way. I moved to LA in 2018, September of 2018. It was good. Spent a good year there. Was there all of last year, and then moved back into San Antonio in February. So right when everything was about to shut down, and we're with families.
Yeah.
May I ask where you were?
Yeah, I lived in Eagle Rock.
Oh, cool.
I know that. Yeah, I'm like Eagle Rock next to Highland Park. Like I know all the lingo and everything.
I live in Burbank, so, you know, we were neighbors at some point.
Yeah, Burbank is where my publishing people are, I think. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of, yeah. Is it by an airport? Wait, yeah, it is.
Yeah. There's a
Bob Hope
there
Airport,
is.
yeah.
That's my favorite airport. It's so chill.
I know.
It's so chill.
So much
It
better
really
than
is,
LAX.
Yeah,
Man.
I think I've only been to LAX like twice my whole career. But yeah, the Bob Hope, that's my jam right there.
That's the good one, yeah.
It's cool, yeah. I was smartened up by that like some years ago. My wife's from LA, and we're actually moving to LA in a few weeks. And that is a way better airport.
You're moving.
Definitely.
Wait, where are you now?
I'm in San Jose. Me, Zeke, and Rick are all in San Jose by San Francisco.
Okay. Yeah, I like San Jose. That was always a fun place to play with Girl in a Coma. Played there a majority of the time with Girl in a Coma. It's like
Zeke
a
went to go
college
see
town,
you.
right?
Yeah, kind of. It's the city that always sleeps.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah, it sure is.
Aw.
It sure is. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, you did. I kind of remember when you came to see us.
Yeah, Zeke
was,
went to go see you guys. Yeah,
It was at the DNA Lounge in San Francisco. You were playing with some band called Survival Guide, I think.
Oh yeah. Emily, she's the singer. She actually moved to she lives in San Antonio now. Yeah, she lives in San
cool.
Antonio.
It was a good
Yeah.
show. It was a really good show.
Yeah, I hated those stairs though.
Oh yeah.
That
That was-
sucks.
That it's like me and my husband, we're building our whole like production thing here at the house, and we have a green screen that we've been having fun with, and I was like, we should do like Missing the Road Chronicles, like we can have this shot of stairs and equipment and just be really sad, and that's the end of the skit, because that's it.
Right.
You just hate it's like, oh wait, how many flights of stairs? There's more than one. Okay, here we go, and it's exercise time. But the
Especially for the
venue's really cool.
bassist.
Yeah, the bassist that always seems to get hurt somehow. Yeah,
Right.
that's another skit we wanted to have, because one time on the road, my bass player Austin, he brought his skateboard, and it was actually in Los Angeles. Like I went somewhere and I get a phone call, and I thought something happened to the van or something, and they're like, Austin's in the hospital. He fractured his hip because he went down like this hill by like a Safeway or something, and like it was just way too fast, and if you were to get a fracture, that would be the one to get. But we had this other joke that the bass player just keeps getting hurt, and by the end of the tour he's just like wrapped in bandages everywhere, and we just kind of like shove the bass on him and just kind of make him stand on stage. But he was a trooper. He finished the rest of the tour. We propped him up on a stool, and he had his pain pills. He was fine. He played the rest of the tour. Yeah.
That's a keeper. That's definitely a keeper.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. Right before all of this happened, right before the pandemic and the lockdowns and everything, I had a show lined up in San Antonio, and it was going to be my first show back, and I was going to keep it a 3-piece until I started to get my members back again. So Austin was definitely the first call I made to get him back in. He's an amazing musician, really sweet guy. Got lucky with that one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you go about deciding when you want to do like a 3-piece show versus like how many musicians do you normally have, like when you have like a full-on band?
Well, with my solo project, right when I started my solo project, I wanted to see what it would feel like to be away from my guitar and really embrace that front person role of like Michael Hutchens kind of vibes, and like just kind of go out and like I was watching a lot of In Excess videos when I was like forming my solo sketch of what it would be like. So it was me, like altogether it was 5, including me. So I had a guitar player who his name is Travis, and then had a bass player, couple before Austin, and then I had a keyboard player, and then drums, and me. So yeah, so it was this 5. And with that, Jorge, who's my husband and also my drummer, he would trigger samples and stuff. So it's very different than the Girl in a Coma setup, because Girl in a Coma, 3-piece, Latinx Chicana punk band, and anytime we would try to have another member in there, it just really wouldn't work out. I don't know if it's just because it was just us 3, we had our bond, and anytime anybody new would kind of come in, like there's this force field that would kind of really stop this mold. The only, like towards the end of our Girl in a Coma's career together, Travis, who was playing with me in my solo band, I kind of brought him over to Girl in a Coma to fill in the spaces. So that was our last attempt of having like more than a 3-piece. But so that's why when I came back home, I was just kind of trying to rebuild my comfort again on stage, because it had been a good minute since I played, because living in LA, I got a day job. It wasn't like what I expected it to be. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to move there and this is going to be taken care of. I was a little ignorant, like, and a little naive with what would go on, but I learned my lesson. I learned it really well. humbled me a lot. But I did get a cool day job working at a metaphysical shop called House of Intuition, which there's like shops that like they're in Melrose, they're all over the place. They're awesome, but I didn't play as much. So it's kind of like when you haven't done something in so long, you kind of retrain your brain and you get yourself ready again. So I thought instead of going full throttle back to a 5-piece, setup, let me start off with my 3-piece comfort. Like that's what I had been doing since I was 13 years old. Like it's like second nature to be able to just jam with 2 other people. So that's what I decided to do that. But then, everything happened where the universe was like, no, you're still going to wait, so I'm kind of like formulating what's going to be. Now's the perfect time to think of how am I going to present myself now? Like I'm working on my new album. I'm, working on image, like taking all of that into account now. Cause before it was just kind of like, I am what I am, which is still me, but I'm like, I'm a performer too. So let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with like makeup and costumes. I don't know what's going to happen next, but it should definitely be very interesting.
So you currently live in San Antonio, correct?
Yeah.
It's interesting because a couple of years ago, I went to Texas for the first time ever. And I, of course, before that, I had no concept of it. I, like most Californians who haven't been to Texas, you sort of have not so great things to say about it sometimes. But I went to Texas recently. I went to Houston and Austin and Galveston, and I just thought, man, I was completely wrong about Texas, and I really kind of love it here. It's and I only spent probably a couple weeks there, but something that I really love talking to people about is just the music scene there, because I know Austin's like a huge mecca for local music now. And I was just curious, have you sort of, despite COVID, have you had a chance to really be out into the local Texan music scene?
Actually, in a way I have. And the only reason why I have is because, and I understand that perception that people may have of Texas, to, I get it. Politically, I get it. But when you get down into the nitty gritty of it, there's a lot of amazing, polite, open-hearted, we're ready to accept you, let's try this out people. I'm happy to say I come from that realm, especially here in San Antonio. We're very much like, hey, let's hang out, let's have a barbecue, let's chill, let's get to know, oh, this is your boundary, oh, we don't work out, it's okay. It's like chill, it's chill.
Yeah.
But with Girl in a Coma, that generation, I was very much a part, because I was 13, 8 years difference. Like I was like around the older generation of sound during that time in San Antonio. And I'm lucky enough that in our career, we got picked up and signed and toured. So I kind of spent some time away from the San Antonio scene. And then when I came back, it had changed a lot, and then some of my friends that were, like when they're in their early 20s, they were really starting to get their careers going. And I had already been doing it for so long. So I'm like, yeah, you could do this. Anybody could really do this. You just got to like have some focus. That sound, it has, I'm happy to say that it has changed a lot from being known as the metal capital of the world. San Antonio used to be known as that, which is cool to have that title. And Austin, yes, is known as the music capital of the world. But I think, with everything that's happened, I think we're kind of all going to have a nice fresh slate. And Austin may not be like the upper hand after everything, who knows? But now I've been involved with this local nonprofit called San Antonio Sound Garden. And in that, there's a couple of members in there that are from bands that are happening now in San Antonio. So with that, I'm actually able to kind of vibe out, oh, this is like with the people, not necessarily seeing their live shows, but with the people where it matters most of connecting with them. Because, like you can hang out with bands that have similar sounds, but then when they get, like you can play a show together, but when you're off stage, you don't really hang out sometimes, but I feel like this is forcing us to get to know each other off the stage, so that when the time comes to be able to share the stage again, I think we're going to have so much more of a bond. So I've slowly been able to dabble around to see what's been going on in my city again. And I think everybody is forced to see what's going on in their city again right now, with watching videos and live streams. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great time for especially people that can be a little more introvert with playing, like promoting themselves to play shows.
Right.
This is the time to shine, myself included. I could be really like an introvert in a lot of ways and not post a lot, but I was like, you know what? People are paying attention now. Like everyone wants to, this is our entertainment now. We can't go out. So this is the perfect time to get to know what bands are going on in your city. So I'm definitely a part of that, of seeing like what's been vibing and connecting, you know, with the future musicians as well. I worked with Girls Rock Camp here in San Antonio, and it's amazing to see the talent of these 13-year-old, 14-year-olds, like the music they're writing. So yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yes,
That must
to
bring
your
back a lot of
question.
memories, right?
Oh,
You
it's very
started your career at
cathartic.
that time.
Very cathartic. Yeah. It's it healed me in a lot of ways to do that, because, you know, when my Lifetime movie comes out one day, where it's an actress that looks nothing like me, you'll be able to see like the really dramatic parts of things. So to be able to mentor these writers was very healing for me. And to see that they have a really clear head on their shoulders, you know, because I had started drinking and stuff when I was 13 and didn't really have much self-esteem. That now I feel like I'm finally owning my confidence. So it was really awesome to be able to see the opposite of that. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Well, you know,
I imagine like Seth Rogen playing me in like a Lifetime TV movie or something. Somebody who totally, like you said, doesn't look like me at all.
Yeah, because it's always like that. Like I watch the Lifetime movies sometimes. I'm like, that looks nothing like them.
They'll have Johnny. They'll age me up
Johnny
and
Knoxville.
have Johnny Knoxville play me. Yeah.
You do look like Johnny Knoxville, though. Maybe too good of a casting job.
So, you know, I'm always really interested in, you know, how the music industry has changed, because it has changed so rapidly in the last 20 years, let's say. You know, and a question that I would immediately have for you, because I know it's something that I definitely have a lot of thoughts on for myself, but, you know, you started playing music when you were 13, and, you know, what are some differences you feel have, what are some things that you feel have changed in the landscape, I guess, you know, both for the better and I guess for the worse?
Well, now that I'm actually paying attention, and now that I'm more present, especially in the business aspect of things, because then, I mean, I'm always an artist at heart, and sometimes it's difficult when the artist starts to seep over into the business world, and it kind of taints you and make you not want to create. And then that's why we have managers. That's why everybody has a role, and respecting that role and appreciating that role. So when I started, it was all about the fun and experience, and I'm hanging out with older people, and I'm drinking, and I'm this not really paying attention, but not, you know, I was kind of very self-absorbed, which a lot of teenagers are, you know. And when it came to this scene, it's just like a lot of fun, you know. It was a lot of fun. And then to being signed at 17 with Joan Jett, with Blackheart Records, that's when I started to notice things take time, which it was lucky to get signed. It was very much a rock and roll kind of fairy tale, but it's not like, here, you're signed, sign the paper, here you go, here's all this money. You know, it's not like how you imagine of like, oh, this is going to pay all my bills and this and that. Because it's an indie label, you know, but it did help us with as a stepping stone for a lot of things. But that's when the concept of time started to really hit me, and contracts, and the importance of owning your own material. Because that's something that I can see now is a lot easier to do because of so many platforms to release your music. Like with the what is it? SoundCloud?
Sound Cartel or SoundCloud? Okay.
The cartel.
Spotify.
Spotify, what is it?
Apple
DistroKid. All
Is
that
there
stuff,
something
right?
called Sound Cartel? Is that?
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah.
Is it? It's intense. That's
Carlos is cool with them. Yeah.
Sound Cartel.
In
It's a
Mexico.
sound, that's like a Netflix special. There's all these
I
cartoons
know.
on. It's like they're cartel crazy on Netflix. But but there's so many more platforms now for an artist to be able to release their music and to start their like. I'm learning Logic Pro X right now because I'm like, Pro Tools just makes my head hurt like crazy. I'm used to GarageBand, just get the ideas out.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want to record my stuff from home. And it's possible. Look at Billie Eilish. I mean, her breakout album was her and her brother in their living room, in their bedroom, you know? So I feel like the industry, there's so many more options now. And it's important for the artist to know to own your stuff. And again, there's all these different platforms to release your music. I think then we put too much of an emphasis on a label changing our lives. And now we have the power more. But hey, Blackheart helped me out. Blackheart helped Girl in a Coma out a lot. I'm totally grateful for that experience. But I see this Generation Z now that you have this potential and this platform to use to be that label, to be everything. You can be everything right now, and it's so much more attainable.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. I'm like,
It was like a total like Forrest Gump moment, you know, like I think I'm gonna go home now, you know, totally.
well,
I'm done running.
Yeah.
Going home now.
Going home now, yeah.
Sometimes I stand like him when I go on my porch. Remember when he just like stands on his porch?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I feel like I do that when I go out for my gasps of air every now and then. Yeah.
You got to do that wave, you know, that real.
Yeah, I wave at like
that he
strangers
does.
in their masks. They're like, oh, don't look at me. I'm just like, waving at their dog. That's the funniest thing that happens whenever somebody walks by with a dog. I'm that person that's like, oh, look at you have a dog. It's cute. And they hate it.
That's
like,
my 2-year-old. My 2-year-old will do that when we take her on walks. She's afraid of her dog. But we have a dog, and she's terrified of it. Yeah. But she'll see a little dog walk by. She's like, "Look at the cute doggy," and we're like, "Hey, you have one at home that you neglect, you know?
No.
You can't hug that one."
Aw, and your dog's looking at her like, really? Like, do I have to go in disguise and become another dog for like
totally
for you to give me attention?
Well, our dog's actually in LA already. She moved ahead of us, but whenever she's around her, yeah, that's totally the case.
How did your dog go by themselves?
What do you call them?
Back them up.
Here.
She's filling in for Benji, for the new Benji movie, you know? I don't know.
Aw, Hollywood. Yeah.
Right.
Ruben, I just remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Have y'all seen the dogs with the mask or anything?
Have I seen it? Wait, who, where? Maybe in LA, right?
I have seen a couple here.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, they have the mask on. The owner has a mask on. Everybody has.
Mike, does Bruce Wayne have a mask?
No, he doesn't.
He should.
That's your dog's name?
My dog's name's Bruce Wayne. We got him from a rescue, and the rescue named him Bruce Wayne.
That's cute.
But I'm sure if I was to name him, I probably would have named him Bruce Wayne anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like dogs, if they had masks on, they would just like
take them off,
pull it off, right?
Well, they've kind of with a muzzle, isn't that like a mask, right?
Yeah,
pretty much, right?
So they know the idea.
Yeah,
and they don't like the idea though, because usually if they have a muzzle, they're bad.
Right.
They bite.
I heard.
I'm done running.
I heard some dogs can catch COVID. Is that a thing?
COVID?
I
But only
don't
some
know.
of them.
I thought they took that back. They keep,
it doesn't
saying
seem
something then taking it back. I don't know.
You know,
just get a bunch of Lysol and toilet paper.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me because like everything's very inconsistent. So I don't know.
That's where your morals come in, because everything's inconsistent. It's like, okay, well, what do I believe will make me feel safe right now? Like, all right, I'm just gonna wash my hands and get some toilet paper and
wave at dogs.
And wave at dogs from a distance, from a nice distance.
That's what you know. What makes things so complicated is I feel like there's a news article out there to reinforce anything that an individual already believes. Right? There's probably a news article out there that's like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, just keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that Portlandia skit. Remember that one where like it's these two people that haunt the house and they're like hipsters and they're like, I read an article that too much sleep is bad for you, and I read one that you need more sleep.
More sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much like that. It's pretty much like that right now. So
You know,
just
it's
rely on
funny.
your morals.
I know it's like a satire, but that show is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's
That show is
amazing.
pretty good.
It's
right?
amazing. That's one of my favorite shows, Portlandia.
But just put a bird on it, right? You know?
Classic. It's amazing. Like as soon as I see Fred Armistead's face, I feel happy. There's just something just about his face that just makes me instantly happy. Like if we were friends, I would just smile all the time because I'm like, your face is just making me happy right now.
Because he's a drummer.
Because he's a oh yeah.
He's a drummer, yeah.
You're a drummer too? You're the drummer?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, I love drummers. My husband's a drummer. I got a nice spot in my heart for drummers.
But you love drummers, you know, right?
I literally love a drummer.
A drummer.
Like I'm in love with a particular drummer, but I love drummers in general. And I slide away.
Me too.
I love
And how?
Just a reminder to our audience that
Oh,
please,
this is live. Oh, we're on Facebook?
we are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We have an audience that you know, sometimes they're shy, sometimes they're ambitious, and you know, every now and then they will ask us questions, but tonight, you know, they're just shy. They're just a shy audience. So we'll have to gaslight them a little bit.
Tell them I don't know what to do with my hands.
No gaslighting.
You know?
No.
I know you're a big fan of Jeff Buckley. Is there one particular song that you love to hear over and over?
Let me see. Well, just his breathing at the beginning of is it Hallelujah? He goes,
Yeah. Starts with that breath.
there was one day I just rewound it a good couple of times, and I was just like, I just want to hear you breathe. But I mean, what would you say? That's a really beautiful song. And Lover, You Should Have Come Over is classic.
I love that song. Yeah.
That's like that organ at the top. It's just beautiful.
Dream Brother. That
Oh
was a
yeah.
song that
Good one.
I listened to that song. That whole album was amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to remember, I think his mother has his ashes. Because I would have wanted to visit his grave. I think we drove by a house that he lived in New Orleans, on tour once. But yeah, I think his mother has his ashes.
Interesting.
And didn't Chris Cornell do? I don't know if he actually recorded it, but there was talks of him like finishing some songs, wasn't there? Like that Jeff, because I know there were sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk,
Right.
and I didn't know if there was. I remember at some point there was some conversation of Chris Cornell,
Yeah.
helping to finish it off, but I guess that never.
I know that they knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that on his 1999 album, Euphoria Morning, I want to say there's a song on there that was that, but don't quote me on that. I remember when I bought that album, my friend and I, we both bought the album at the same time, and we both researched it and all this. And there was some connection to Jeff Buckley on one of the songs on that album, but I could be completely wrong.
That would be amazing. And that album is amazing as well.
That album's dope.
Yeah, Euphoria
like-
Morning.
That's a deep cut though. A lot of people don't know what's up with that album. That album's dope.
And the sad thing is, his backing band for that album, who later went on to be 11, their own band, just an amazing backing band, and he wasn't able to get them back for, you know, his solo endeavors after that. But just the sound that they made for that 1999 album was just haunting, you know?
Oh, definitely.
He needed them on that Timbaland album. That's when he needed
Oh
them.
no.
Aw.
I tried hearing that album.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it.
I love
things.
Chris Cornell.
You got to try different things out, you know, and that's the beauty of his voice is he's like, I'm going to throw it over here, throw it over there, you know.
Yeah.
Aw.
Totally.
You gotta
You gotta
admire
try
that.
things. Right. The boldness.
So are we all
He's
I just
Cornell?
don't listen to it.
Chris Cornell. He's somebody I would actually visit at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. A funny thing, the first time me and Jorge went there to visit, before I actually officially moved there, I was like, I gotta go see Chris. I gotta go visit his grave and pay my respects. And I had never been to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Neither of us had never been there. So as soon as we get there, I didn't even look for a map or nothing. You know, I'm just like, and follow my intuition. Let's see, go left. And I see water. And I'm like, well, if I were to be buried, so I would want to be buried next to water, you know? So I'm like, well, let me follow the water. And as soon as I go, and then you see, not Dee Dee, which Ramon is it that's right next to him? Guitar, is it Dee Dee? No.
Is it Joey?
Not Joey. It's one of the Ramones is right next to him, like the statue, because it's the rock and roll. What's the name of it? Rock and Roll Plots or something. Like if anybody
Wayne or
knows,
something. You're right. Yeah.
yeah, like the exact name of it. But it's like all the rock and roll famous people are in that area there. So as soon as like I look at the water and I'm like, let's go that way, and then you see the Ramon. And then there's Chris's humble little plaque, and it's just like, it's just beautiful, you know. And then they put rocks on it, you know, like I saw the different like phases of it. But that's one place that is very special to me. Like I would go there, especially when I would work the Melrose location of House of Intuition. I would take my lift there first and then like say a rosary and then go to work. Cause he was somebody like to go visit him would be my touchstone in a way of you're here for music. Don't forget, like, you know, I learned a lot at House of Intuition. It was a great way for me to connect more with my spirituality and to actually put names to things that I would believe in. But to visit Chris was definitely that refuel of, you know, of don't forget your music, don't forget about your music. So it was really nice to be able to visit him.
That's cool. I mean, it's so easy to get distracted with life and with everything else and challenges and obstacles. So that's so cool that you were able to center yourself with that.
You have to find something, you know. I think that's why I said you do drugs and drink, because that was like my way of thinking, this is how I'm centering myself, this is my control over this, you know. So my spirituality, and then finding connection. There's a lot of people I believe that I look up to that unfortunately they've passed, you know. Of course, there's that romanticism with it in a way. I'm a Pisces, so of course
me too.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
February 22nd.
Oh, you're February Pisces.
You're a March Pisces?
Well, Kurt Cobain's a February Pisces too.
February
And
20th.
Harrison.
I was born 2 days after him. Yeah.
Aww. I have the same birthday as Albert Einstein, Billy Crystal, and Quincy Jones.
Oh, wow.
What a combination.
Oh, wow. Mine's George Washington and Drew Barrymore.
Oh, Drew Barrymore.
George
She
Washington.
she has a new George. I know. Whatever. George Washington.
I know.
Drew Barrymore.
Go kick a cherry tree. You know what I mean? Yeah.
George Washington. George Washington. Drew Barrymore. See, she has a TV show that she's starting. I saw on the E! News randomly. Yeah.
Is it a Lifetime TV show?
It should be. I don't know.
Hope so.
She's gonna do fine. She's fun. I have a soft spot for her too, because she's so crazy. But she's funny, and I like anytime one of her movies are on, I just like stop what I'm doing and watch it. And sometimes I think I accidentally sound like her when I'm talking, because I could get like this weird lisp thing that happens like with my mouth, and it's like Drew Barrymore moments that happen.
Is it like only when you're watching E.T.?
When I love Drew Barrymore? No, just whenever her movies happen to come on, I pause. No, I don't really watch ET. Like, it just happened that I was eating my dinner and my parents were watching it, and then I was like, "Oh, she has a TV show. That's cool. We'll see how."
Crazy to think that she was with Tom Green for a while.
Right.
You know, I forgot about that. But they were like a very like public like power couple for a bit there.
They were. Yeah, she was with him when he was going through his whole cancer ordeal.
Right.
Yeah. I saw Tom Green once. I got this tattoo. Which one? This here. It says "Mom." Kat Von D did this one, and I was supposed to be part of the LA Ink show. It's like a phonograph, and it's his mom, because my mom would always listen to records and stuff. My mom's still around, thank God, but we always jam records and stuff. But the episode I was supposed to be on, Tom Green was on it too. So we had to take a moment where she did the outline of this, and then we had to pause because they had to film Tom Green's part. So he was like a couple like arms lengths away.
Oh wow!
And he was a character. Yeah, his eyes just even right there, like very
Is he
tall.
all crazy? Is he all crazy in real life too?
He was like, he wasn't like jumping around a bunch, but he was very awkward, but in a funny way.
Like silly, yeah.
Silly, very yeah. If anybody that likes to be in control were around him, then he could instantly make you feel awkward, because it's like, I don't know what you're gonna do next, and I don't know what these pauses are for. But yeah, that's one of my random name dropping things. I saw Tom Green from a distance. Yeah.
The first producer Zeke and I worked with like 20 years ago looked exactly like Tom Green. We still talk to him to this day, and I always say, "Oh, you're gonna meet this guy. He looks exactly like Tom Green." And I'm like, "Hey, Mark, how's it going?" You know,
We had him on the show, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Does he know that?
He
y'all
does. He
compare him?
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be like whispering. He'll walk in the room and be like, "Did you just say I look like Tom Green?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Now I want to see
I
a
did."
photo of him. Now I want to see. Somebody share your screen and show me a picture of him, because you know how somebody says, "Oh, they look like blah blah blah," and then they look nothing like them.
Nothing like them. Yeah.
Oh, this
It's
guy
like,
does.
so what do you think about me? Like, you said I look like. I don't know if your way you look at things is good. I don't know.
Right. Your perspective is terrible.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's what I say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple of little questions here, and since you were going back into the history books here, one of the questions, excuse me.
It's about George Washington.
Exactly.
I could tell you all about George Washington. But anyway.
I bet you could. So Emian Rodriguez, he wants to know, if you could go back into a time to visit, not change anything, but just go back and observe, when would that be?
And not change anything.
Right. You just have to go observe it.
Be a fly on the wall. Oh my goodness. I laugh because like one of the because one of the cochina things is like to see Michael Hutchens like making love to someone would be kind of cool, just to be in the room to see, because you hear so many amazing things about Michael Hutchens and how he's like so just to be like in the room would be cool. But
no, elaborate on that. What are we talking about here? Because I've heard of Sting. I've never heard about Michael Hutchens.
You never heard about Michael Hutchens?
Can he go like 7 hours like Sting claims he can?
Oh, I thought you meant like in general. No. Okay. I thought
you were talking about watching Michael Hutchens have sex.
Yes. No. Yeah. I thought you were talking like you don't know who Michael Hutchens was.
Period.
Yeah.
I know
you don't know who he is. Okay,
no, I know who he is. It's just
better know.
All right, now we're on to a more fun topic.
Yes.
So you want to go back and watch him make the whoopee?
That's the first thing that popped into my mind. If we want to talk
that's
like
the cochina thing, like you said, right?
That's like I don't know why that was the first thing. I guess Michael Hutchens just been on my mind a lot lately. But really,
I would want to see Tom Green, to be honest.
To see Tom Green make love.
I'd rather go back like John Holmes. I mean, what the hell? I mean, like to see that kind of sausage in action.
That would be different. It's different. It's different. I mean, like with Michael, there's just that's just the first thing that popped in my mind. But if we want to talk like musical, I mean, it'd be great to be in the background of a like In Utero, Nirvana's album being made, or Kick in Excess, like to be in the background of a certain album being made would be awesome to see like their process. But if it's just one day, 1 second, one moment, I'd have to choose Michael Hutchens like making love. Like I'm just like, oh, that's nice, and then like I fade back into like now.
I'd pick that same scenario except George Washington.
With his wooden teeth, right? Yeah.
The dude was like over 6 feet tall at a time where people were shorter. He was like a man beast. Crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
Isn't that the name of one of his biography books?
Man beast.
Man beast.
The sexual exploits of George Washington.
It's the unauthorized biography, but
That's horrible. It's horrible. Oh.
yeah.
There's
All
another
right. Okay.
question, though,
So
I think.
yeah. Sorry, I had to scroll back because that whole little tangent brought up a lot of comments.
Oh no. What did I do?
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah.
You just, if we were a syndicated show, you would have boosted our ratings.
Oh, I used to get in trouble a lot, like with cursing on radios. Like they would always tell me, like before Girl in a Coma interviews, they're like, you cannot, because what I would say like the F word and stuff like that. So I've trained my brain to like not say those things, but then other stuff will come out. It's like
You can say the
else.
F word on this show.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Now I know,
Yeah.
but my brain had to go through some training of like not doing that.
Right.
But then like the cochina side will come out every now and then in different kind of ways. Like I don't know.
All right,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Drake Lopez wants to know: is there a chance of a reunion with a Girl in a Coma?
No.
All right, so that's a simple answer to that one.
No, and it's there was almost going to be a reunion with this we were going to play Taco Fest here in San Antonio because our last show together was in 2018 was a Taco Fest. Jen and Fonnie didn't realize it was going to be our last show, but I knew it was going to be our last show. And I know that sounds pretty harsh, but when it came down to it, it had been leading up mentally, emotionally for me, that I had to be done in order for me to continue my growth. I just needed some time away, and that's part of the reason why I moved to LA too. Like was for myself, to see how I am on my own. My personal life, there's a lot of different things going on as well. And my mom had her birthday January of this year, and she kind of asked, she was like, I'm gonna have it's my 60th birthday, like maybe Girl in a Coma can play a couple songs for my birthday. I'm like, well, I can't say no to my mom, so I'm like, okay. And that was the last time we technically played together now. It was for my mom. You want to hear your daughters play, and we set up stuff in the living room, and we played 3 songs, and when it came down to it, everything came back naturally for us to play together, but that meant everything else came back.
Oh
naturally.
yeah.
Like mentally, and we're all 3 very different people. We have obviously some common grounds, some similarities, but our directions of our focus have changed, because we have spent time apart, and not to say like anybody's better than anyone. It's just our vibrations are off. And then when they're off, the way I am, I cannot function, and I have to choose my health over anything. So we were going to do Taco Fest as our closure show, with the possibility of other shows after that, but with the way things the timeline of things from January till now, a lot of stuff came to light that had made me decide again, when a relationship is just done, and
Right.
and it's like, yeah, we can make this work, but one of us is going to be really sad. I don't want to be in a relationship like that,
No.
So, and I love our fans, and I'm grateful for Girl in a Coma. I'm grateful that it opened up so many roads to us, but sometimes there's a chapter of your life that needs to just be a chapter. And you can take those lessons with you to the next chapter or the next book. I think I'm on to another book now. And for the fans, it would have been nice to do a reunion show, but mentally, y'all, the way y'all care about me, you would understand my decision for that. Yeah. Like I don't want to get into like the intense details, but at the end of the day, trust that
what's up, right?
Best.
Right.
Yeah, it's for the best. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say then is that there is a slight chance.
Oh, Rick.
It's like 1 in a million, right? 1 in a million.
So you're saying I have a chance?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. I mean, it was like the Beatles, like right up until
God.
Right
up until everyone died, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So Jared Leto.
But,
Jared Leto John Lennon, basically.
Yeah, you that are, Led Zeppelin or Kiss, any of the greats.
I saw that thing. Right, like, yeah, Girl in Coma is just like Kiss and all of them, yeah. But I saw this Kiss thing, and it was kind of funny because like the Jen and Fonnie were in the room too, and it was talking about their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing and how they didn't play. They didn't play because it was just that much anger, that much resentment that they had. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh man, like I would want to play, But then I look and then I think, oh, I kind of get it though. Like I kind of get like I have a lot of work to do because I'm one of those people that tends to do the emotional work and carry the baggage of things. Again, Pisces,
Right.
rising,
Yes.
Aquarius moon. I'm a very emotional thinker. And when you mix that with other people that could be more like, it can kind of hurt and get a little heavy. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I get, it would be nice to get to that point one day. But I'm not going to waste my energy on that when I can put it in other things that would be for my benefit right now.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit, right?
Not right now. No. Other healing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ruby
All right,
tells
so
us another time.
Susie wants to know, if you weren't doing music, what else would you do? What would be your fallback?
I feel like being because I love to work with candles. I love to work with energy, and I'd love to be a healer. Maybe I'd be a healer, whether it's doing crystal healing or a medium of some sort, of using, because obviously everyone has some sort of clairaudient, clairsentient energy. We all are born with it. It's just some shine more than others because you put the focus into it. And I feel like my clairaudient energy is very much in my music. So I feel like maybe that gift would carry on to help people still, whether it's with connecting with spirit or, with themselves. Just some type of healing still would be cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
I got a question.
Well, also, okay. Oh man, I had one. You go ahead. No.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go.
Simple.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you. No, you
No,
Um,
you
hang up
hang
first.
up.
You
No,
hang
you
up first.
hang up.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
No, you together.
Zeke and I are both big old Bowie fans, and I heard the word from a bird that you're a Bowie fan too. And for Bowie fans, I always love to ask the same question: what phase of Bowie is your favorite?
Oh, I'm very much inspired by the Ziggy Stardust phase, especially right now, as I am forming my image, as I'm making this transition, and talking openly about it. I know with Ziggy though, he was like, here's this creation, he never really was like, hey everyone, I'm gonna let you in on my plan. Like I can't, I gotta stop doing that and just do it. But Ziggy's very much a big inspiration to me right now. But
Awesome.
all of his interviews are just awesome to watch, especially as he got older.
Yeah.
And like more chill and just
Wiser.
funny. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
he's like that, like an uncle or something. I never really had uncles or aunts or anything like that, so I kind of see him as like an uncle. Yeah, like that, just that wisdom. But I mean, that crotch piece in Labyrinth was amazing, though.
I was gonna say Labyrinth, right? Labyrinth. That
Oh,
hair.
my
I
hair.
strive to have that hair.
Oh,
I want to have that someday. I'm serious. I'm gonna have that hair someday.
We all should.
We all should do that. It's a
Everybody.
pledge. It's a pact. It's a blood pact.
That's
I
it.
can't do that.
Everybody should.
It's done.
That's it. It's
Done.
done.
Totally binding.
I'm in. I
You're
love
not
it.
hanging
Right?
with
Yeah.
friends.
It's done.
All right, Rick. Sorry, man. It's your turn now. What were you gonna ask?
Oh, well, okay. So usually we get asked the question, so because we're guys, right? We get asked, if you could be a female performer, who would you be? But you're being a female, so if you could be a male performer, who would you be?
Michael Hutchens.
Oh my God.
There you go.
I was just about to say that. Like, and is it for the reason I'm thinking now because of what you said
Yes,
earlier?
because I was just staring in the mirror for a long
Really?
time and just be like,
See,
I'm Hutchens.
I
Now,
have
if you
that
could be a
same
founding
thought, though.
father, which founding father would you be?
Father would you be? Right, exactly.
George Washington.
You can't say George Washington now. You have to say Hamilton these days.
No, not.
I'm still with
not
George
Hamilton.
Washington, dude. We share a birthday, man. I got to go with Washington, you know?
Hamilton
But
was a
I'm
punk.
with you. I'm with you, Nina. It's like, if I could be a female, I wouldn't get anything done that day. No,
I mean, it
that's
is what it is. It's human flesh experiments. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I just like I would put the phone on like do not disturb.
Or
Maybe light
vibrate.
some candles. I don't know. Yeah, maybe
It
that
reminds
too.
me of that movie, The Hot Chick, where like,
Oh yeah,
she
that was
becomes Rob
that was
Schneider,
nice
and like
and awkward.
everybody's like looking at it like every chance they get,
and then like peeing in the bathroom.
Right, exactly.
That wouldn't be
That's
the
an
part I'd be
experience.
looking forward to.
But
I
that's
would
the
miss-
thing that's so easy for the guys to do. Is just like,
Yeah.
like all the time
I
on
would-
the road, we have to pop a squat, to worry.
I hear not when you hit a certain age. It's not that easy anymore, from what I hear.
Really?
From what I hear, I don't know. I'm not
I
there
would,
yet.
I
Haven't
would
crossed
miss
that
being
road yet.
standing up. I would miss it. I'd be honest.
Because then
I'd be fine with it.
it came down.
I don't want to. I don't want to not pee standing up. Do you pee sitting down, Michael?
No, come on now.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, you
I
made
feel
me
like
wonder.
Rick. I feel like you're trying to really push this into hanging with the friends after dark, but this is we're still in the
Where you going with this, Rick?
PG-13 friends.
That sounds
The
like something.
Red Shoe Diaries.
That's what my dad asked because my dad's an older man and he's sitting down, and then like my mom was like laughing about something, and my dad tells Jorge like, "You pee sitting down, right?" And Jorge's like, "No, no."
You,
I stand
you
up.
know, you bring that up, but I'm not the one who mentioned cochina. I had no idea what that meant. And one of our viewers here actually
Oh,
just informed me. I put it on there, and it was E-Man. It means nasty.
it's nasty.
See,
Oh.
I didn't start this.
Nasty.
I didn't go down
you
this.
gotta ask it like a Jeopardy question, right? Like, what is
What is
cochina
nasty?
mean, right? Yeah, what is
Yeah.
nasty? There you go.
It's cochina.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry that I took it there, but I'm not.
We
I'm
aren't
sorry.
apologizing.
Yeah,
No, we don't apologize for that.
But you learned a new
No.
word tonight too.
I
Yeah.
did, and it boosts our ratings.
Now you can
You
get
know,
a
opens
tramp
our
stamp
market.
tattoo. Cochina.
You know,
No,
Because
it's gonna
everybody
say
needs that.
Coachella.
With your
Coachella.
Bowie labyrinth hair, and it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna
I was
say
wondering what the next tattoo
cochina
would be.
reverts.
You're wondering what the next tattoo would be. Why
I
don't
was.
you have sunglasses on, Rick? You should have those giant sunglasses on.
Yeah, Rick.
You know,
Well-
the funny thing is, I actually just got this new pair in the mail today, and put the batteries in there, and then
Put the
I forgot to bring them downstairs where I'm set up to do this
battery.
whole thing. It's
put
like,
the batteries in where?
Don't you want? I'll show you later.
Mike's thinking the cochina thing now. See?
I'll
Yeah.
show you later.
Battery sunglasses?
Yeah, they were
What
really
is it?
cool, man.
Hey man,
Yeah, it's not-
no
They light
batteries
up?
required though.
They light up.
Yeah,
Batteries
it's
not
just,
included.
they-
Okay.
They don't flash.
Batteries
They
not
don't
included,
They
man.
don't vibrate. They don't do anything really fun, but they do look pretty cool. If you want to go for that cyberpunk sort of look, it's like, yeah, okay, this is pretty neat. So
Aw,
yeah.
I wish you had them on.
I know, Rick. Where are
Now I'm.
you know
pissed
what?
off.
You know,
Why you gotta be
no,
so
you shouldn't be
selfish?
pissed off.
Rick,
Here's
Rick.
what I'm
Be
gonna use my
selfish.
I'm gonna use my drummer card here. So I'm gonna say when we have you back on, I will be happy to oblige you, and I'll wear them.
I see what you did there.
Yay!
So there, redemption.
Yeah.
Well, I have some bad news.
What
I
happened?
am the designated time police, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your battery ran out.
It was
No.
just getting good. Yeah.
Nina, thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate it. We always wrap things up by just saying, hey, this is your opportunity to tell us and the viewing audience, where we can find your music, to tell people what you're working on with future projects, stuff you're up to, things we can look forward to.
Yeah. So I've done the transition. I used to be Nina Diaz Music, but now it's Nina Diaz Solo. I know, big change. NinaDiazSolo.com will lead you to my Instagram because I'm still in the works of building up my website. I'm actually like a under construction kind of thing right now, but it's a lot of fun stuff coming.
Cool.
Yeah, and something really exciting next year too that I can't talk about, but it's gonna be really cool. I mean it. I mean, it's not like I'm just saying like, oh, wait for next year. Like, there's like something cool, and as soon as I'm of liberty to talk about it, I will be talking about it. But Nina
cool.
Diaz Solo, yeah.
Awesome. That's very cool.
Well, and
A
when
new tattoo? Is that what it is?
It's a cochina tattoo. I'm doing it.
When 2020 is over and 2021 is a year where people can actually go places and do stuff, I think Frantic Romantic should take a trip to Texas and give you a visit.
Yeah, we should jam a show. We should do like, it'd be fun. It'd be cool.
All right. Well, to our viewing audience and to our awesome guest, thank you. And thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks everybody
Hey,
for.
Thank you. Do you ever do that with your sunglasses? You're just
All
like,
the time. I do it with one finger. One finger. Right in the middle.
excuse me. Sorry. Thank you.
No, all good. This is Hanging with Friends. We're on every Thursday night, 8:30 to 9:30. Tune in, ask your questions, and until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay rocking. Bye.
All right. See ya.
Later.
All right.